Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. If this is the first time that you're seeing me, I am the Hermit Tarot and this is my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a tarot pick a group general reading. We're going to keep it simple and put it in a yes or no format. It is the first time that I'm personally doing a video like this, so I'm pretty excited to be able to share it and have it on my channel. It is a timeless reading and there's going to be 8 different groups to choose from, so you can come back to this reading whenever you want. You could choose to ask multiple questions and you should hopefully be able to find the answers exactly that you're looking for. That is my aim with today's video. Before we get into it, I do have 2 announcements for you. The first announcement is that today's video is sponsored by Fabulous, the #1 self-care app, helping you build better habits. Now, I've used Fabulous before in terms of we've been sponsored by them before, so it shouldn't come to you as like fresh information unless you're new to this channel, but I do personally like Fabulous as a self-care app. I gravitated towards it because of the 2 different approaches that it uses. You can choose a self-guided approach with Fabulous where you just kind of use the resources to coach yourself through habit building. You can track what you're doing. It could be as simple as tracking when you go to sleep, tracking the last time that you had a decent meal, for example, tracking how much water you've drunk, tracking your exercise. Or you can actually use the coached side where you join little journeys and communities and they help you stay more accountable when it comes to your self-care habits. So I've personally found that Fabulous does help me build healthier habits that actually stick because of the accountability process, whether I'm tracking them myself or whether I'm using a journey or a program to help track my habits. And I've also found that it's helpful because it can be personalized. You're not just doing the same thing as the person next to you, because the truth is our days aren't the same. So those 2 things have been able to help me, and it's been able to help me change some of the things that I want to work on. For example, I'm working on motivation the most at the moment, wellness always, and just maintaining a positive mindset through affirmations. So to start building your ideal daily routine today, the first 100 people to click the link in the description box will get 25% off their premium Fabulous subscription. If you would like that 25% discount, be sure to click the link in the description box and sign up to Fabulous today. So thank you so much to Fabulous for sponsoring today's video, and the only other announcement to tack on to this already long intro is that I do have a giveaway going at the moment, which was announced on my Instagram as well as the community section of this YouTube page. So the giveaway will include 3 merch winners. The primary object of my giveaway is going to be the Musical Messages Oracle deck. I've been so busy actually getting it out to people who've already purchased it that this giveaway is late. It was supposed to come out a week ago, so I hope that I can get this to you in time for Christmas, but if not, it's going to be a New Year gift, okay? So as far as I'm aware at this stage, I should be able to ship to most countries in the world. What I'm suggesting is that you enter the competition and I will do my best to get the deck out to you. So if you'd like to be a part of that giveaway, be sure to head over to my Instagram or the community section of this YouTube page and check the terms and conditions on how to enter and when entries close. That is all from me. I'm going to take you into the pick a group portion of today's timeless reading. Just a reminder, it is a yes or no reading. It's very important that you enter your group today with a clear yes or no question in mind, at least one. You're welcome to have as many as you want and to pick as many different groups as you want as well. I aim to give you as much clarity, support, information and guidance as possible. Taking you into the pick a group portion now. Hi and welcome to the pick a group portion of today's video. We have 8 groups to choose from because I wanted you to have a diverse selection. You're welcome to look for messages in more than one group. You may also wish to ask more than one question because we have a lot of answers here, so it's really up to you. I'm going to start from left to right, starting with group 1 over here. We have this labradorite crystal. Very beautiful. It's a pale labradorite crystal, so you can see that clear sheen that they all have when I kind of twist it this way a little bit, and it was cut into this unique shape. This was actually a gift as well. I try to give you as much information just in case any of it helps you feel which group may be yours. So this is group 1. Group 2, you have this clear quartz slash rock crystal over here. It is basically just a polished piece of crystal that I'm pretty sure, I can't remember where I got this from now actually. It's either from the store or from the beach, so I'm pretty sure it's from the store now that I think of it. I think it was an extra little crystal that like my local store gives me, because I go there a lot, I'll be honest with you. I make a lot of purchases, so yeah, I think this was a little extra one. And it's just a tumbled piece that would kind of sit in your pocket. So I've been calling it clear quartz slash rock crystal for group 2. Group 3, you have the cubed piece of amethyst crystal here that also sits in your pocket. It's a lighter piece of amethyst, and you can see a little bit of remnants from the host rock as well that have been oxidized. So beautiful piece of amethyst. Group 3. Moving on to group 4. You have this beautiful shell over here. There's 2 shells to choose from in this selection today. So this shell has like lighter colors, some tan, some white, some lighter browns, and it also has that hole in it. We see a spiral over here. It's a gorgeous shell. I think I picked this up while I was Twitch streaming, so if I may be wrong. Maybe if you know, comment down below to remind me, but I'm pretty sure this is from Twitch. I'll just see if it'll focus one last time. There we go. Group number 4. Moving on to group 5, you will have this tiger's eye crystal here. So it's another tumbled piece of crystal. I tried to pick ones that were small enough to fit in frame because we have 8 groups, so this one's very small. But it's a crystal that I did most of my manifestation work with in 2020, so it's been able to give me a lot of prosperity. Tiger's eye is very potent. I can account for that. It's something that gave me a lot of motivation in 2020 to get to where I am today. So tiger's eye for group 5. Group 6, you have the other shell over here. So I'm pretty sure this is a poisonous shell when they're alive. This one's obviously empty. The resident has vacated. We see a spiral pattern on the top here. If it'll focus. Are you going to focus? There we go. I was holding it too close. And then we've got these darker colors to the point where it's almost purple in some places as well. So that is group 6. Group 7, you have the beach quartz rock. I'll just call it a beach rock. It seems to be some kind of quartz, and it kind of looks like a tooth from certain angles as well. Beautiful, beautiful rock. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I like rocks more than crystals. So this was picked up from the beach. It has a beautiful, like, clearing energy to it. It just grounds me and helps me feel more calm. Lord knows I need it with Kirk in the house. So that's group 7. And lastly, we have group 8 over here with the opalite crystal. So as far as I'm aware, opalite is man-made, but correct me if I'm wrong. Opalite is known for this variation of color that we see here, like this transparent rainbow effect. And it often has this slightly opaqueness to it as well. Like you can't see completely through, but you can still kind of see through it, if you know what I mean. I hope that was a clear way of explaining it, but we see this rainbow effect as well based on the refractions of light within the actual crystal. So your group 8, opalite. Now you're welcome to pause the video now if you need time looking at the groups, or you may choose to join me in the brief meditation as well, which is aimed to connect you to your intuition and help you choose a group. Whenever you know which of these 8 groups you're feeling most called to, scroll to the timestamps in the description box, click on your group's timestamp, and I shall see you in your reading.
So the first thing I want you to do with me is to take in 2 deep, mindful breaths. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to focus on clearing your mind. It's natural to have thoughts racing at this point. I want you to embrace each thought as it comes and let it slip as quickly as it came in. Focus on clearing and balancing out these thoughts so that they come and go without a desire to be attached to them. And now, with a rested mind, I want you to think of the first group that comes to your mind. It may be a number, It may be an object that I showed you. It could be a specific color. It could be a feeling that you felt when I showed you each of the groups today. When you are ready and when you feel confident, select your group and join me in your reading.
Hi Group 1 and welcome. If you chose this labradorite crystal over here, then this is going to be your reading. If it'll focus, let me bring it up a little bit. See if I can get it to focus there. If you chose this labradorite crystal, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, today's video, we are asking Spirit for a yes or no answer, so it is important that you come to this reading with your question in mind. It's going to be a quick reading, but I will also be getting you advice at the end as well. So let's see what we can get for you. Group 1, please, Spirit. What is the answer to their yes or no question? Group 1. What is the answer to their yes or no question? Oops. What is the answer? We have the 10 of Cups showing up. I've just got to clarify this card. Do you want it reversed or upright, Spirit? Reversed or upright? No, it is supposed to be reversed. So 10 of Cups coming out first over here. Beautiful cards. What is the answer to their yes or no question, Spirit? We have the King of Wands as well over here. It's got smart tracking on this camera, so it's accidentally tracking the cards that I pulled out first. What is the answer to their question, Group 1, yes or no? I'll just get 2 more cards. What is the answer to Group 1's question, yes or no? We also have the 2 of Cups over here. It's going to make me tap it every time, isn't it? There we go. 2 of Cups. And 1 more card. Apologies for this long shuffling. And we have the Lovers. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Let me sit with this for a little bit. I'll pull these cards a bit closer so you can see them as well. They don't need to be all the way over there. I just need to figure this out real quick because you have a mixed answer. Yeah, so this situation is rather complicated, Group 1. I feel that the true answer to your question is no, mostly because this is not going to make you happy. There is a better compromised outcome for you, and I feel that you'll need to make a decision about this situation very soon, if not already, and whether it's taking too much of your energy, too much of your effort, and whether it actually aligns with your overall plan. It feels like your answer is no because you've set your sights too low. It feels like the situation needs to be re-strategized and re-evaluated to look at the best way to maximize results for effort, if that makes sense. Because it feels like you have a lot of potential with the King of Wands, but the situation is not going to be fruitful, let alone make you happy. I see a compromise with the 2 of Cups, technically like a coming together, or just being able to look at the situation for what it is. The 2 of Cups can also be like acceptance of 2 individuals and appreciating that, you know, you come with your own individual aspects. And then over here with the Lovers, it's like this self-motivated moment of making a decision for you. So I do see the Lovers as a turning point. I see it as something better. And I see it as you gaining clear knowing of what you want to do here. And I sense that your technical answer is no, but that's because there's a lot of untapped potential in this connection. And there is a better outcome here. There is a better, I said connection, but it doesn't have to be about love. There is a better outcome here. I feel like that this potential is supposed to lead you towards more, Group 1. That's what I'm seeing to your question. Let's quickly get some advice from this cosmic guidance deck right here. Spirit, what advice do you have for Group 1 when it comes to this situation? What advice do you have for Group 1 when it comes to this situation? Oh my lord, it's all on the ground, excuse me. What advice do you have for group 1, Spirit? Yeah. Okay, we need all of these cards. We need all 3 of these cards. First of all, I see that you are destined for more. Okay, your bottom deck energy over here is the Star card, which tells me that this isn't the technical blessing that you are supposed to receive. I feel that there is something more out there for you. There may be more healing to do if this is involving another person. It may even be their healing. But it just feels like you've cut yourself short and you need to set your sights higher when it comes to this situation. Time to shine, you're cutting yourself short. You're dimming your light to fit in. Now, the first guidance card we have is this Moon card, and I'm showing you them in reverse because they are reversed. This card says subconscious mind, feminine, and intuition. So the main energy that I get with this card being reversed is that there is more information that needs to be considered. This situation is going to have more clarity very soon, if not already. You just need to really consider how the situation that you're hoping for is not technically meeting your emotional needs. And I also think that this situation is also about, because maybe you want the no answer, right? This situation is also about letting go of fear and being more open to other possibilities as well. I feel like your intuition has been secretly telling you this answer for some time. Subconscious mind tells me that there's a lot that's going on under the surface here, and I think that it's going to start to come to light. It's going to be harder to ignore. We also have caution over here. Keep your guard up in the reverse. This is saying stay open. It's not about necessarily being cautious. Obviously, have your boundaries, protect yourself. But there is a feeling here of staying open, as though this situation is, you're being protected from this situation so that you can stay open to other opportunities. And lastly, we also have guidance over here. So this guidance card tells me that it is working out for your highest good. We want you to have your 10 of Cups, right? Your happy ending over here. We want that to happen. But in order for that to happen, it does feel like this situation is not supposed to go in the way that you were intending it to. So it is going to work out eventually for your highest good. This is also saying pay attention to other people's advice and guidance as well. Obviously, not everybody is entitled to be your oracle. You are the divine oracle in your life, but I feel as though other people have been telling you about this as well, or there could be other advice and guidance coming your way about this situation. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Group 1. That is the answer to your yes or no question with some advice and guidance. I hope this reading was helpful. I hope it helped to confirm something that you may have already known, as well as offered additional information. Thank you so much for joining me, and I shall connect with you very, very soon. Bye! Hi Group 2, and welcome to your reading today. If you chose this crystal over here, this clear quartz rock crystal, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to put your crystal in view, but just out of the way over there. So today's reading, we're going to be looking at a yes or no answer to a question that you should have already asked before you came to this reading. So make sure that you are approaching this question, or this reading, should I say, with a very clear yes or no question in mind. There are so many groups to choose from for a reason. You can ask as many questions as you'd like and come back to this reading whenever you'd like. It is obviously timeless. So let's get into it. I'm going to pull tarot first for you, Group 2. What is the answer to Group 2's yes or no question? We have the Death card coming out first for you. Beautiful card in this deck. I'm going to put that there. What is the answer to Group 2's yes or no question? We have the Hermit card coming out for you now in the reverse position. What is the answer to Group 2's yes or no question? We have the Seven of Cups coming out reversed. What is the answer to Group 2's yes or no question? And we also have the Devil card over here in the reverse position. Interesting cards to get in a yes or no reading. Let me just move these all along so they all kind of fit neatly in frame there. So let me have a look. Your bottom deck card or energy is the Ten of Swords. So it's ironic because it feels like you're either asking a question that you know the answer to, you're just trying to seeking confirmation, or this is very much about moving forward and not actually focusing on this anymore. So I'm getting, to be honest with you, that your answer is no, mostly because it feels like the situation has put you through the ringer, sweets. The Ten of Swords in the upright, it feels like the situation has to end. So take this as it resonates, but I want to say that if this is something that your heart is set on, if this is something that you're hoping will ground itself and stabilize itself in your life, I'm seeing no. The answer is no, because this situation has already caused a lot of destruction, a lot of pain, a lot of turmoil, and it needs to start to heal. There's also wisdom that you need to gain from this situation, and it feels like you're deflecting that wisdom by seeking advice from external sources. So it is really about giving yourself space and time to appreciate the reality of the circumstances. I want to say no to your yes or no question, but I also want to say that this is simply about ending a difficult cycle and once and for all giving yourself the space and the opportunity to move forward from it and to heal from it, to liberate yourself from the oppression that this circumstance seems to have had over you. I also feel like this is about grounding yourself in general, not over-romanticizing the situation and looking at it in a realistical, practical way. I think you do need time out with yourself to think about this. You may choose to surround yourself with at least, one person whose advice and wisdom you trust. But ultimately, with the Hermit reversed here, you know the answers. It is about trusting yourself and giving yourself space and time to really look at the situation clearly. A positive reflection here. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of yes or no. It feels like a no, but that's the reason why, is because this difficult cycle has to end. So if you asked about a difficult cycle ending, then the answer would be yes. Okay, group 2. But if you asked about a matter of the heart, or something grounding in your life that you've been waiting a long time for, I don't see it happening like this, because we have to kind of get away from this environment altogether and give ourselves new opportunities. We have to close the door to this painful cycle. In fact, betrayal could even be involved in your group. It feels very painful, very difficult, and unnecessarily long. It should have ended a long time ago for you so that you have the space and the room to grow. But we still need to wrap up these loose ends. And for most of you, it is emotional and mental. And giving yourself enough time to really get that emotional closure and to mentally start to focus on other things. What is the advice for group 2, please, Spirit? Just get some advice cards to close your quick reading. What is the advice for group 2? Okay, back of the deck we have energy over here. Energy, intensity, passion, and power on this card. It's very beautiful, this deck. I'm so glad I can give it justice with this camera. So energy just tells me that this situation has been building for some time. It could have put you in an unfair power play dynamic, if that makes sense, where you felt like you were the oppressed in the situation. But I just feel like there's an attachment here. And I think with the Devil reversed, it's all about breaking free from that attachment and viewing the situation with the mind of, I'm not bound to this outcome. I don't have to stay here. I have free will. I want to say with intensity, there could just be a strong attraction here as well, a strong pull towards this. But with passion, this was always supposed to be a situation that you grew from, that inspired you, that gave you new life, almost like a catalyst situation or a karmic situation. It was always supposed to destroy you in some way to allow you the space to rebuild as you wish, if that makes sense. I may be really minimizing the severity of your circumstances, and I don't mean to, but that's the overall image that I'm seeing for you, group 2. Now, in the other oracle cards that actually came out for you, We have speak up, use your voice to express yourself. And I think this is why this has to be a no, is because it cannot happen like this. There's no freedom here. There's no sense of individuality, and it feels like the situation has control over you. So it is more about gaining your own voice and gaining your freedom to express who you are and yourself and your emotions, and allowing yourself the space and time for what you deserve. So speak up as your advice is really asking for you to give yourself first time to understand your needs in every aspect. You know, you could break it down into emotional, mental, physical, spiritual. You could break it down into health as well. But it is also just about knowing how to convey those needs to those around you and to this unfair situation. So speak up, use your voice to express yourself. Next we have joy, and I think that's ultimately what is missing in this spread. There's a lot of illusion, there's a lot of distortion and manipulation in your spread, and this inability to see the truth. But the best way to sort of connect to who you are, to your purest state of being, is to start incorporating more joy into your situation. And that may feel like trying to bring a preach to hell, you know, a preacher to hell. That's what it could feel like for some of you. Like, how do I just bring joy into this fruitless situation? But it's all about starting small, because the ultimate idea behind this is that your inner child needs to be more present in your decision-making process here. Who you are at your core, your foundations of what makes you you in terms of your values, your basic boundaries, your dignity, your self-respect needs to be present. And the best way to bring back that sense of core identity is to start connecting with your joyful presence again and reminding yourself of who you are at your core. So that's what I'm seeing for you, group 2. That is the answer to your yes or no question, as well as some advice. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope at the very least it confirms something that you already suspected for yourself. Please look after your beautiful self. Remember, at the end of the day, the decision is yours. You have free will. But I do hope that this reading gave you the support, guidance, and clarity that you need. Thank you so much for joining me, and I shall connect with you in another video. Bye! Hi group 3, and welcome. If you chose this beautiful amethyst crystal over here, this little pocket crystal, it used to sit in my pocket everywhere I went, and now it just sits on my shelf, keeping my other crystals safe and calm. So this is going to be your reading if you chose this precious little gem. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to be asking Spirit today for answers to a yes or no question that you have on your mind. It is important before you get into this reading that you do have a clear question in your mind, and that it for the most part involves a yes or no response. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we'll get some guidance for you as well. Group 3, please Spirit, what is the answer to their yes or no question? Oh, we got a cord. We have the Star card coming out for you. I'm still getting used to this camera. The Star card. Beautiful card in this deck. What is the answer to their yes or no question? Group 3, please Spirit. We have the Ace of Swords. Interesting. What is the answer to Group 3's yes or no question? We have the Strength card now joining us. Welcome, sir. It's actually a feminine energy, but that's okay. What is the answer to Group 3's yes or no question, Spirit? And now we also have the Sun reversed. You know, this is so interesting. This is a very interesting answer. Let me just get that set up. What's at your back of the deck? We have the Page of Swords reversed. Wow. You're giving me mad mixed signals, Group 3. Hectically mixed signals for your group. Let me put this down and tune in to see what I'm actually picking up for you. Gotta get a quick sip of water as well. This is an interesting answer. I want to say yes, but it's not as straightforward as you would think, Sweet Pea. It's not a straightforward yes. The answer to your question is yes, but I feel like the outcome is a little bit outside of the box compared to what you're expecting, and it may come after you need to really exercise a lot of patience and a lot of endurance. It feels like the situation is going to lean towards a yes outcome, but it doesn't always. I'm hearing not all that glitters is gold. So the outcome feels a little bit bittersweet, I've got to be honest with you. With the Sun reversed, Strength reversed, our Ace of Swords is telling us yes, 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 yes. But our Star is saying this situation ends up becoming something that we no longer feel connected to. It becomes more connected to our past than our future, and it involves a lot of healing. It involves a lot of forward thinking, and as we heal, we start to imagine a different outcome. So the answer to your question at this present moment is yes, but I feel that you're not going to be as attached to the outcome as you are now. With Strength reversed, it may take a lot of time, a lot of patience on your part, and it may take a lot of like perseverance. Like, it just feels like it really wears you down. It really breaks you down, and it leads you to feel like you're no longer, like, this is not what you want. With the Sun reversed, it's like this isn't going to make you happy anymore. This situation is a yes, but it doesn't seem to make you very happy anymore. Especially with the Page of Swords reversed here. It's almost like you've just outgrown the situation, Group 3. It's like you're no longer this naive, curious, young energy. You've outgrown it. You're beyond this. So that's what I'm seeing is like, yes, but it's more something that was connected to your past. It's going to take some time, and it doesn't seem to make you happy anymore. So just keep that in mind. We're going to get some advice for you now before you go. Group 3, please, Spirit. What is the answer to the Group 3? Oh, excuse me, we already have your answer. What is the advice for Group 3 in this situation? What is the advice or guidance for Group 3? What is the advice or guidance? Yeah, thank you. That makes a lot of sense. Your bottom deck energy is heart, emotions, and intuition. Now, your heart, in terms of the heart chakra, is also responsible for a lot of healing. It's responsible for your immune system, and your lungs. So I feel that the situation involves healing. I feel that emotions are involved currently, but as you heal, your emotions will develop and will, I feel, grow into newfound emotions. There may be a strong desire to have this now, but I think that as time continues on and as your healing continues on, you're not going to want this in the same way. Your intuition is encouraging you to stay open-hearted towards this situation, to not hold bitterness or to not be spiteful, and to simply focus on bringing, balanced energy into your whatever connections or situations you enter, so that you would continue to attract that positive energy. But I do see that with heart being the bottom deck energy, there's just a lot of healing here. And there's a feeling of your emotions evolving as the situation does. So I'm going to put that over there. Let's have a look at your other cards as well. We had stillness. Actually, I want to talk about this card first, because this is what came out first. A new beginning. The top of this card says, have courage to open a new door. And this card is really highlighting that an alternate opportunity may present itself to you. I meant to say present. It probably sounded like prevent though. It may present itself to you and become more attractive than this outcome, mostly because it feels like as you grow, as you heal, the situation will naturally pivot, much like the snake's body on this card. Life is not linear. We move in tangents, and I see that the tangents that you will be moving along start to alter your mind, alter your desires, and ultimately alter the way that you seek happiness. This situation won't be the source of your happiness anymore. It feels like you are carving a very unique path for yourself that has many twists and turns, so it is important to stay open to what may come your way. I see this being positive, honestly. I see that your happiness does lie elsewhere. Now, we also have stillness coming out for you, so this advice is saying that the situation has a lack of movement, which is why I think there was so much of this patience energy coming through. It feels like the situation doesn't really develop as excitingly as we may have hoped. Although the outcome is yes, there's not a heck of a lot going on here. So you're going to start checking behind those doors, you know, behind those adjacent opportunities. So I feel with stillness here that your advice is to give yourself enough quiet space to understand the opportunities around you, to not feel distracted or to discredit anything that comes your way, you know, not to look at opportunities as distractions, but rather these beautiful little moments to explore other and experience other things in life. So I have a feeling that there may not be any movement here, but things are going to pick up for you in other ways. Group 3, that's what I'm seeing for you when it comes to your yes or no reading. I hope that was helpful for you. It's been a pleasure to read for you today. There are 8 groups for a reason. You may have messages in another group with this question or in regards to a different question, so feel free to check and see if any of the other groups resonate. Thank you so much for joining me, and I shall connect with you very, very soon. Bye! Hi Group 4, and welcome to your reading. If you chose this beautiful shell over here, then this is going to be your reading. I'll just make sure it focuses so you can see what you chose. I'm going to pop your shell in the corner over here and we'll get straight into it. We're asking Spirit for a yes or no answer to a yes or no question. I will be getting a little bit more information about why you received that answer, as well as advice and guidance. So there is a little bit more to it than a simple yes or no. But let's get into it. We'll start with the tarot. For Group 4, please, Spirit, what is the answer to the yes or no question? Group 4, what is the answer to the yes or no question? We have the 4 of Wands coming out. We're going to get at least 4 cards to be very sure of the answer. Group 4, please, Spirit, what is the answer to the yes or no question? Group 4. We have the Page of Swords in the upright. What is the answer to the yes or no question? Group 4. We also have the 8 of Swords coming out now. And now we also have the Star. Wow, this is beautiful for you. Your answer is definitely a yes, Group 4. It feels like you've been losing hope in this situation as well. It feels like you were very much lacking information here. It's either that you had to wait for it to unfold, is that the word I'm looking for? Unfold. Or the situation just hasn't been very straightforward for you, but your answer is a definite yes. There will be a harmonious, balanced outcome. It will be something that I want to say moves quickly, so you could expect an answer or an outcome very quickly to this. And it feels like this is a situation that requires you to stay optimistic, especially with these 2 cards here. Your hope is everything in this situation. Keeping your mindset on a positive outcome is really going to allow the situation to unfold in the best way, because I think that you need to stay receptive to this energy and allow it to come your way, especially if you're dealing with someone here. I feel like this person is a bit skittish. If you asked a question about and it involves somebody else's approach towards you, it feels like they are needing to read you and feel that you're receptive and open to this opportunity as well. So it's very important that you stay hopeful, that your mindset stays optimistic, and that you don't let whatever happened in your past in a similar situation hold you back from moving forward here. It feels like you have experienced a letdown in the same sort of field of this, whether we're looking at love, career, or something else, another opportunity with your health as well. I could pick up on that. It's very important that you don't project your past letdowns or hurts or frustrations onto this present moment. Very important that you stay open-minded here and optimistic over a positive future. Now my camera battery is flashing, so I hope it doesn't turn off halfway. We're going to quickly get some advice for you. You need to know that you have multiple outcomes to this situation. So multiple choices from this one yes answer. So things could be unfolding in multiple different ways. You're going to have many opportunities to seize this. So I feel that to ground this, excuse me. So I feel that it's very much about just staying receptive, hopeful, and not letting your mind tell you that this is going to all fall apart. Let's get some quick advice though and guidance for you. Group 4, please, Spirit. What advice do you have for Group 4 when it comes to this situation? Okay. What advice do you have for Group 4? Yeah, I'm hearing keep an open mind. You control your life. Your bottom deck energy is rest reverse, so it's very important that you stay active in this situation. You have to give in order to receive here. Give yourself time to recuperate in the reverse is saying that you need to start to become more animated. You need to start to use the words of wisdom that you've learned in your slower periods, in your more restful moments. You need to use the information that you have to start taking action towards this outcome. Even if it's as simple as small gestures, you know, leading up those small gestures into bigger movements. I feel here that it's slowly about giving yourself more of a chance here and really taking action slowly but surely. Now, the first advice card that technically came out was this change card here. This says new season to life, and I feel that this is blocked because technically this opportunity hasn't grounded yet. I don't think that this is, sorry Group 4, my camera died, so I had to go charge it, and there's been a big gap in between the first part and the second part of your reading. But as I remember, we were up to the oracle cards for you, and I was talking about this change card. Now, change for your group really just summarizes that what's going on here is going to work out for you. I feel like this card is reversed because things are still transforming. It may appear to be very dead here, which is what I was trying to say before my camera died, but this is offering you a lot of new growth. So I see this situation improving. I don't see it being a dead end, and I do see that something is going to work out to be better than what you may have told yourself over here with this hopeless and helpless energy. So this is positive. This is not really much advice, it's more confirmation. I feel like there is advice of perseverance here, or resilience, should we say, in the sense of don't give up and allow new growth to come into this situation. Lastly, for you, we also have this beautiful oracle card here. The sun has come out for your reading. We have joy showing itself to us as well. I think I would have talked about this briefly for you. I'm just going to talk about it again because my throat chakra closed, so I feel like I need to go over it if I didn't. Joy in your spread is saying that this situation again will be fruitful, but as advice, you're really being called to stay optimistic and to really try your best to remain hopeful. Keep your vibration high when it comes to the outcome, because you are projecting the outcome through your mindset, if that makes sense. And it feels like you do need to stay open. I see the situation evolving, mostly because of this page here. You could be dealing with someone who's immature or shy, and it feels like you need to stay open and receptive and really allow that energy to come in. I'm just going to quickly check to see if there's anything else I'm getting with this joy card. Yeah, I feel like more information is coming your way as well. See how we have this sort of crescent moon here? I feel like it's very much about maintaining an intention that you've already set and really trying to make the most out of the opportunities as they present, trying not to get too in your head and negative about what you believe the outcome will be, because I do see a positive outcome for you. So Group 4, that has been your yes or no reading, as well as some advice. I hope that was helpful for you. I apologize for the disturbance in the middle, but I think I needed that little break to be able to come back and give you those clear guidance messages to summarize. If you found this reading helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. If you have another question on your mind, I do have 8 groups here for a reason, so feel free to have a look at the other groups. Otherwise, I shall see you in another video. Bye! Hi Group 5 and welcome. If you chose this little tiger's eye crystal here, then this is going to be your reading, just showing you up close what crystal it was, just in case. We're asking Spirit for a yes or no answer for a yes or no question. So before we really get into it, this is where I remind you that if you do need to have a clear yes or no question in mind. I will be getting some additional advice. I'm not just going to say yes or no, but it is important that you enter this general reading with clear intentions. And if you feel that your outcome was too vague, you're more than welcome to check another group to see if there are messages that resonate for you there. So Group 5, please, Spirit, what is the answer to their yes or no question? What is the answer to Group 5's yes or no question? Group 5. We have the Fool coming out for you. Let me just focus this camera. There we go. I'm using a camera that I only use for my podcast, so it's trying it out on these readings. Group 5. What is the answer to their yes or no question? The High Priestess is showing itself to us, so you kind of already know the answer to this, sweet pea. You've got to trust your intuition as well. We also have the Two of Swords in the reverse position. Wow. What is the outcome? We have the Hanged One in the reverse. There's a lot of action here. It's very interesting to me. Hanged One in the reverse. I'm seeing action after inaction. One more card. What is the outcome for Group 5's yes or no question? What is the answer? We also have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is in reverse, so let's talk about this, shall we? I'll put that down there. We'll just double check your bottom deck energy before I get too crazy into it. We have the Seven of Pentacles reverse. So listen, your answer is a yes, and I feel like this is coming after a long period of time, after you've been waiting for a while. However, I feel you changing lanes here. I see yes, but I see that the outcome is very much about a decision that you need to make and a path that you need to take for yourself, okay? It feels like you choose to uproot one thing in order to focus on the other. It feels like after a period of waiting, you finally have the opportunity to focus on something that you really want to do, and you take a lot of time to think about this. You let your heart guide you, and you let your mind sort of stew over the information very logically. It's a very calculated move forward. So your answer is technically yes to your question, but it feels like it's something that takes you time to do. It feels like there's a lot of sort of waiting for the right time, and then after all that waiting, it feels like you then choose to kind of pivot, because it's like you have to make a choice here. You may have one of two things to go for, and I see that you're going to choose the one that your heart wants. And it feels like this period of waiting allows your heart to really digest the situation further, because you're not completely convinced at the beginning. It feels like you're kind of presented with an opportunity, right? Like this beautiful Fool card energy, and you're presented with this new way forward, but you're not feeling entirely confident on how to foster this or how to grow from this or what to gain from this. So you take your time, and when you know, you step forward. Now I want you to know that you have a lot of power in this situation, Group 5. This isn't a simply wait for the universe to deliver situation. The ball is in your court is what I'm seeing. The decision is yours. It's up to you whether you choose to keep your heart open and invested in this opportunity, or whether you choose to uproot it, much like the bottom deck energy is suggesting, and pivot into a new direction that may be more fruitful, is what I want to say. I see the end of a tough cycle really pushing you towards this new beginning and making you want to try something new, making you want to shed your old baggage and really take advantage of this blank slate. And the Queen of Pentacles reverse tells me that this opportunity really reshapes and redefines the way that you look at your future and yourself and your success. It may lead you to sharing your accumulated success with another person, which is something that you never thought you would do. You may take on a partner in terms of business or romantic. It just feels like your little kingdom suddenly becomes threatened in the sense of maybe you got to share it with somebody else. So I see the Queen of Pentacles as you really changing the trajectory of your success and reconsidering how you want to invest yourself in the long term. This situation will require a lot of nurturing, especially because it's a blank slate. It is something that you're going to have to go into with your heart in the right place and your mind very focused. So take the time that you need to really come to a decision in terms of the information that you already have. Now let's get some guidance, even though I kind of already gave you some advice. Group 5, what is the advice for them in this situation, Spirit? Ooh, okay. What is the advice in this situation? One of these cards just keeps coming out, and it's not that I'm sick of it, but like, give us some diversity, please. Bottom deck energy for you is caution. Keep your guard up. Now, I feel like this is about observing the delays as being helpful. You know, this isn't something you're supposed to rush, Group 5. This is something that you're supposed to feel confident in. This is something that you are supposed to plan to a certain extent, or at least digest in terms of the information available. It feels like you're not supposed to just wander straight into somebody else's web. This is almost a web that you need to weave for yourself, because it is your opportunity, Group 5. So I see that it's very important with caution here to maintain boundaries and to just give yourself time to understand the situation fully. This could be as simple as, if this is a job opportunity or a new career, you need to fully appreciate what you're getting yourself into. So understand whether it's you need to understand the industry better, or you need to understand the sector better, or you need to understand what it means to have a business in that area. You need to really just give yourself time and go in with your skeptical mind on, so that you're asking questions and so that you're staying present and letting that information really come into your intellectual mind. Now, the first advice card that you technically got was this Joy card over here. And this Joy card for you, this is the card that's been plaguing the readings. It comes up a lot. But for you, it's about bringing your emotions into it. Not in the sense of acting from an emotional place or an emotionally unstable place, but paying attention to how this situation makes you feel. There's going to be fear naturally, because this is a blank slate, a fresh start. You don't have a lot of experience in this, but it's exciting at the same time. So pay attention to all of those emotions, even the fear, because fear is very telling. Fear sometimes shows us what we're afraid to lose, not what we're afraid of doing, if that makes sense. While there may be shame in messing something up, maybe there's greater fear in missing out or losing it in the first place. So pay attention to your feelings. They're very helpful in this situation. We also have create over here in the reverse. Now this says nurture your creative energy. I'm trying to read this on the viewfinder, so it took me a little while. Now with this being reversed, I feel like it's not necessarily about creating, although this is a blank slate, so what you put in is what you will get out. It's also about acting upon the opportunities that you have. Now, I think that this is, in order for you to get there, this is talking about what we were saying before, understanding your opportunity fully, where this could lead, how much this could grow if you nurture it, if you choose to put attention into it. Just really getting curious and getting information about what this could lead to, what the potential further opportunities are. It's like that idea of getting like an entry-level job, but instead of just looking at it as that's me for the next 60 years, where could that take you? View this situation as a stepping stone. What does the future look like in this situation? What are the potentials? So that's what I'm seeing for you, Group 5. I hope that was helpful. I hope that answered your yes or no question, as well as gave you more guidance and information on what you can do in this situation. Remember, you have free will. It is up to you. Thank you so much for joining me in today's reading, and I shall connect with you very, very soon. Bye. Hi Group 6 and welcome. If you chose this beautiful little shell right here, I'm going to bring it up close just so you know you picked the right one, because we do have 2 shells today. So if you chose this little shell, I believe this is a poisonous shell. This is a conch shell, as far as I'm aware. These are the kinds of shells we get told to avoid when we go hunting or just foraging or beachcombing, so you got to be careful with these. But silent but deadly, and beautiful when they're dead too. So too much information though. Welcome group number 6. We are doing a yes or no reading today, so it is very important before we get into it that you start this reading with a clear question, a clear yes or no question in mind. I'm going to be pulling 4 tarot cards as well as some advice at the end on how you can better the situation or what else you need to know. So real quick, get that question at the forefront of your mind. Let's get answers from Spirit. Spirit, what is the answer to group 6's yes or no question? What is the answer? We have the 10 of Wands in the reverse coming out first. Let me show you this real quick. There we go. Beautiful card in this deck. There's so much color. I love this deck. What is the answer to group 6's yes or no question? Oh, we got some cards. We have the King of Swords showing up now. Beautiful. I'm just amazed by every single card in this deck. It honestly just has such beautiful energy too. We have the Ace of Cups. Okay. That's a very obvious answer if you know tarot. One more card for you. Group number 6. Yes or no, Spirit. And lastly, oh, excuse me, I've got to shuffle that back in. That wasn't your card. One more card. Yes or no for group 6. What is the answer for group 6, Spirit? There we go, we got it. It was hiding behind one of the other cards. We have the 10 of Pentacles coming out for you in the reverse position as well. So wowzers. I'm going to put that down there and we'll have a look at what the back of the deck is giving us. The 7 of Swords in the reverse position. Wow. So you need to know that your answer is yes. Group 6? I was about to say group 3, so take it as it resonates. That number could be significant to you, but I can see that the answer is yes. However, I feel that you need to act based on what you know, not based on what you think you know, not based upon gossip, not based upon inconsistent information. It's very important that you use the information that you know is true and that you don't look for shady answers or, you know, get a little bit sneaky with the way that you use information around you to come to a decision. The answer is a clear yes, and I feel that it's about moving forward with integrity for you and really absorbing the truth of the situation, especially with the 7 of Swords. Don't look back is what Spirit's saying. Just keep moving forward. Now, it feels like this is insinuating some manipulative or deceptive energies around you. It feels like you're not being given the full story, or there's been like a withholding of information which has really made it difficult for you. It could be as simple as you're expecting communication and the communication has been delayed, group 6, but it feels like this is something that's been really weighing on you for some time. And the 10 of Wands is really telling me that you are going to receive an answer very soon, and it feels like this is going to free you, much like an unburdening of responsibility and frustration for a lot of you. I see that this is something that's going to happen very quickly. If you were given a time frame of like a few weeks, I do see that happening sooner than what they gave you. It just feels like this is going to be very unburdening for you, group 6. So I can see that this is something that you need, because it's all about liberating yourself of unnecessary responsibilities and in some cases unrealistic expectations. I see with the King of Swords that you're going to be in a powerful position here to be able to use what you know to make some big changes in your life. You're going to know more than other people involved in the situation. So it feels like you've got to be very strategic about how you move forward. Use your information like a weapon is what Spirit's saying, but use it to protect yourself, not to attack anybody else. I want to say with the King of Swords here as well, there could be someone older than you or wiser than you, or just someone who's very like professional and mature helping you through this. If applicable, this is also saying take legal advice. So seek legal advice. Depending on how this situation is, it might be helpful for you to enlist the support of a legal professional as well. Now over here we have the Ace of Cups, which is a big yes. The Ace of Cups says that you will get what your heart wants, and at the very least you'll get a new opportunity here when it comes to, I want to say, your emotions, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. This is more just saying yes, your answer is yes. And I feel this Ace of Cups is allowing, for the most part, a new opportunity for you. maybe in a heartfelt way, but for others it just feels very sympathetic and kind. It's like a gesture of kindness. Now here with the Ten of Pentacles, I can tell that this situation is really going to change your future, and how you act, what you choose to do, how you choose to move forward is really going to change your future. So I see it potentially impacting families, impacting your legacy, impacting money, especially if we're looking at like a separation. I'm getting like divorce vibes or separation vibes. So I see that it will impact your money, or just something that you've personally been working hard on, which is probably why it's good to get that legal advice if that applies to you. Let's quickly get some guidance as well, and advice from the Oracle deck for Group 6, please, Spirit. What is the advice for Group 6 when it comes to this situation? Okay, so back of the deck we have Trust in the reverse. And what Trust is saying, there's someone you can't trust around you, sweets. And I deliver this message with importance. Like, I don't just try to spread gossip or jealousy or hearsay. You do have every reason to be skeptical of the secondary information you're receiving, or of inconsistent information. I think it's very good to validate your sources in this situation and get information directly from the source if you can. It feels like there's a shady character around you that is withholding information on purpose and making it very difficult for you to see the truth here, but you will eventually see the truth. It's all about moving forward, don't look back, and make sure that you use the information you have to protect yourself as well. So this card specifically says faith in the power of the universe. Now, it feels like you are being protected in this situation. It feels like it's very important for you to seek appropriate counsel and get advice from appropriate avenues as well. Now, in terms of the other advice cards, we have patience over here. And patience is saying at the bottom, long road ahead, reward awaits. So for some of you, this is going to take time, which is why the Ten of Pentacles had to come out as well, just to indicate that the efforts that you put into this will be rewarded, but it is important that you maintain patience in terms of this situation and how it plays out. And I feel like you do need to change your expectations so that they're more realistic, while also releasing yourself of unnecessary burdens and responsibilities in this situation. Remind yourself of what you can control versus what you can't control, what you are responsible for versus what you may have just picked up on. Now we also have listen in the reverse position here, and this card says silence your mind and pay attention. This is telling me, Group 6, that in this situation there is someone that you need to stop listening to. There is someone that you need to maybe pay more attention to in terms of their actions. And it feels like there is someone that you need to get advice from as well. So reach out to who feels right in those cases, and pay attention to those shady characters, because their actions speak louder than words. Once you see what you need to see, keep moving forward and don't look back. Group 6, that's what I'm seeing for you. I hope that was helpful. I hope that answered your question at the very least, while also painting a bit of a picture in terms of context as to why you got yes. Thank you so much for joining me here on YouTube today, and I shall connect with you in another video. Bye! Hi Group 7, and welcome to your reading. If you chose this beautiful beach quartz / beach rock, I'm pretty sure I would have just called it beach rock in the intro, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to put your little rock over here. Today's reading, we are asking Spirit for a yes or no answer to your yes or no question. I will be pulling advice at the end as well, and maybe some guidance. So really important, before we get into it, make sure that your yes or no question is in your mind. If you need more time to pick a question, I suggest you go back to the pick a group portion, sweets. Make sure you picked the right group with your question in mind. Okay, Group 7, please, Spirit. What is the answer to their yes or no question for Group 7? We have the 9 of Swords coming out for you first in the reverse position here. Sorry, I've got caffeine shakes. I'm going to put that down there. What is the answer to their yes or no question? We also have the King of Wands over here in the reverse position. I'll put that there. What is the answer to their yes or no question? We have the Four of Swords reversed. Beautiful card though, Sloth, from the looks of it. One more card. What is the answer to the yes or no question? We have the Page of Cups. Interesting. Interesting. I'm going to show you your back of the deck energy. We have the Nine of Pentacles. This is not necessarily a simple, straightforward answer. It might be a little bit complicated for you guys. Let me just look at this. Let's look at this real quick, because you've got a lot of dark energies and it's making me think of your root chakra. It's making me think of your sacral, but mostly your root. Like, I'm seeing a lot of these darker sort of reddy colors, which feels like you need to stay grounded and be stable. And ironically, all of those cards that emit those colors are reversed. It's only over here in the solar plexus energy with the Page of Cups that we have an upright feeling. So it's very confusing. I'm just going to double check and make sure, but it feels like your answer is no, sweet pea. It feels like your answer is no. I'm just going to double check. Yeah, your answer is no. Your answer is no, and I feel that many of you suspected this, or at least had that inkling, to say, for lack of a better word, inkling, that this was going to be your answer, only because the main reason I'm feeling this is in this situation. Oh my god. Excuse the bird. In this situation, it feels like you're being put in an unfair situation here, where this situation is taking advantage of you. I see the Nine of Pentacles reversed as a lack of security, and that if you were to continue on this path, you would be left without, and there would be instability, and you've got to be careful. Look what's underneath that, the Tower. This is something that is not stable, and it is going to fall down. So I feel like your answer is no, because this simply isn't supposed to have a long-lasting presence in your life. It's not supposed to be here for a long time. I want to say with the Nine of Swords reversed that this is clarity that has already reached your ears, sweets. It's already in your mind. It's something that you need to process and understand greater, in terms of like, this is the answer, and this is as good as the answer is going to get. So I do think that this isn't going to be straightforward. I feel like there is pain and sorrow associated with learning this, so it's very important that you give yourself time to process that and understand how this general reading applies to you too. In a general reading, this information may need to be filtered down and discerned in terms of like what is helpful for you versus what may be somebody else's message. But with the King of Wands reversed, I see that this cannot go forward this way. The plan was not set in place, or this was not supposed to happen this way. The King is reconsidering their strategy on how to move forward, much like you need to moving forward. I see the King of Wands reversed as a feeling of maybe jealousy or possessiveness over this situation, but the truth is it was never yours in the first place. So it's very important that we let go of any bitterness, spitefulness, or jealousy here. I want to say with this card out as well, the Four of Swords reversed, it feels like this is something that may have been a long time coming, or it's something that we need to grow from and heal from. I see this Four of Swords reversed as you understanding, in the very least, what not to do moving forward. In terms of where to next, I think that's going to take time, and I think that should be the least of your concerns. It feels like there needs to be a time of healing and rest here as well. But I feel slow and steady movement with you moving forward. Now the Page of Cups is indicating an apology. Maybe someone owes you an apology, or you may owe somebody else an apology in this situation. But I also sense a level of maturity needing to elevate in this situation as well. It feels like this Page of Cups is learning more because of this no answer. It feels like this is an energy of leveling up your emotional wisdom, and also just how to feel in this situation, if that makes sense. And I don't really want to tell you how to feel, but this Page of Cups is a very light-hearted energy, and it's not really a strongly committal energy. It's more about experience and being kind at the very least, and open and fun, but not necessarily committed to any one outcome. So I feel like that's a part of your advice moving forward, but I'll quickly get some guidance cards to check. For group 7, what is their advice moving forward, Spirit? Yeah, this is a secret form of liberation for you, to be honest with you. This is like rejection as a form of divine protection. We have energy here, so your advice is to continue to foster that passion and power and intensity that you may have felt in this situation initially. It feels like this energy is pulling you elsewhere now. At the very least, channel that energy. Give yourself an outlet until you know where to go next. Give yourself a creative outlet or a physical outlet, you know, whether that's moving your body or just painting something, you know, just to give very basic examples. You need an outlet here for all this built up energy. I want to say that when it comes to the situation, there is a lot of energy here and it's very intense. That's why inevitably there may be a tower moment for many of you who are struggling to move forward or take this no answer seriously. I sense a sudden forceful change if you don't start to make changes for yourself. Now, the first card that actually came out was this freedom card down here, group 7. And this freedom card is saying spread your wings. You have your information, and as limited as it is, that is all that you are going to be given. So please use this information to spread your wings, to be free, and to continue to fly/grow. Use what you have to move forward. I can also see here with the flow card, group 7, that you're not supposed to have a clear plan right now. It's more about knowing what you shouldn't do or where you shouldn't be or who you shouldn't be around in order to stay open to what may come your way. As long as you are protecting yourself from what isn't meant for you, you're allowing yourself to be open for what may be meant for you. You're just supposed to go with the flow at this point. And I sense that that could be very frustrating for a lot of you. Obviously, you're here for answers. You're here for clarity. But it is important at this changeable, mutable moment in your timeline that you simply stay open, because the world is literally your oyster, and much like this jellyfish, you have a lot of different opportunities in terms of how this could go. So stay open and flow with the universe here, group 7. I hope that was helpful in the sense of I hope that answered your question and offered more context around what's going on here. If you feel you have messages in other groups, I do recommend that you go back to the pick a group portion and select a different group as well, even if you have a different question. But thank you so much for joining me in today's little mini reading, and I shall connect with you very, very soon. Bye! Hi group 8, and welcome to your quick little reading today. If you chose this little opalite crystal over here, as far as I'm aware, opalite is man-made, so welcome to the makers of group 8. This little opalite means that you're in the right reading if you chose it. I'm going to put it over here and we're going to get into your reading today. So just to remind you, this is a yes or no reading. It is very important that you come to this reading with a clear question in mind, a clear yes or no question in mind. I will be pulling tarot and getting some oracle cards, but it is important, that you have that message at the forefront. So tarot will help us understand the answer to your question a little bit better, give you more context as to why your answer is yes or no, and the guidance cards will give you more information on how to move forward. So group 8, please, Spirit, what is the answer to their yes or no question? Group 8, what is the answer to their yes or no question? Oh my gosh, you know what, I gotta shuffle that again. Y'all got too many cards. That is not helpful. There's like 30 cards. I think I'm being dramatic, but there's at least 20. What is the answer to their yes or no question, group 8? Ooh. We have the Ace of Wands. Welcome. Look at this gorgeous card. Beautiful energy here. Beautiful energy. Let me put that down though. We got to get more cards. What is the answer to group 8's yes or no question? We have the 7 of Wands reversed. Wow. Again, loving the energy in your reading. And we got your last two cards as well coming out together. Two of Swords and the Two of Cups. Darling, 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 darling. Your answer is a straight up yes. I can't tell at this point in time how many yeses and nos we got, but your answer is a yes. Page of Wands is at the bottom of your deck, so you're supposed to feel passionate about this opportunity. Whatever you're asking about, I see that it will take you on a bit of a journey, a little bit of a quest, Group 8. This is something that will feel like it's very attractive to your creative side or maybe your passionate side. I'm getting a slight sexual energy with your group too, so this, you could be asking about a person or a relationship. I see that this is a very curious time in your relationship where things are still developing, and it feels like there's a thirst to expand and explore something as well. Travel could be involved, or some sort of distance could be involved, a journey of some sorts, but it's definitely a yes for you. So the Ace of Wands tells us that this is going to be a passionate opportunity. This is a very passionate yes. And when I say passionate, I mean that there's expression here, there's sacral energy here in terms of your sacral chakra, Svadhisthana. So it feels like this is almost a birth or a creation of something in your life. It feels like it's very fertile, it's something that involves expression. And when we have all of this fire, we also tend to have creativity and a need to express and let out energy. So beautiful Ace of Wands energy, but we also have this card which I wanted to talk about. Now, in terms of this opportunity or this situation that you're facing, Group 8, I see that you are kind of standing in your way at times, not all the times. I don't mean to call you out and say you're doing something wrong, but I can tell you with this card that your own fear or lack of courage does tend to stand in your way, especially in this situation. I feel that if you're dealing with someone, it's very important that you embrace your fears, or at least are honest about them, and maybe discuss your fears or issues in terms of lack of courage and self-esteem with the person that you're dealing with. If this is so fresh and new that you don't feel comfortable enough doing that yet, at least accept that to a certain extent the way that you see yourself is causing blockages and limitations here. Because I do see you overcoming these issues as soon as you face them. As soon as you look in the mirror and go, oh my gosh, like I'm the one that backed out, like I lost courage, or I'm the one who saw myself as an underdog and accidentally caused delays here. As soon as you see that, you'll be able to overcome them better and recognize them when they arise. These fears are manageable with the Seven of Wands reversed. But with the Two of Swords, this situation may take time. It could be as simple as, you know, the opportunities that you're given in this situation are very limited and you've just got to take what you have and run with it. But I can tell with the Two of Swords that it is about meaningful action and decisive action moving forward. Acting from a balanced mind and doing what you feel is right. This is also about intuitive thinking. It's not about impulsive actions or hasty actions, really acting when you feel you have the information that you need. And with the Two of Cups, there may be a compromise needed, or it could be as simple as making room for a heart-to-heart conversation with another person involved in this situation, or with the other person involved. Especially if you're asking about a friendship or a relationship of any sorts, I see that the two of you need to sit down and have a heart-to-heart conversation here to get on the same page, because this tells me that you'll be successful. You just need to open up to each other and share emotions and intentions. So let's get some more advice to close your reading. Group 8, what is the advice for this situation? Group 8. Yes. Group 8, what is the advice for this situation? Okay, your bottom deck energy is head. Yeah, look at this. This is you, sweets. This is why this card's reversed. Head, logic, and evaluation. This is reversed because it's good to be logical, but to a certain extent, maybe you've been overthinking this situation and allowing your fears to get the better of you. I see that it is about acting through intuitive thinking, in terms of there comes a time where you have to shut off those fearful thoughts and act based upon what you feel you need to do, because the situation may require courage in order to ground this opportunity, really speaking up for yourself knowing what you deserve and knowing that you can have this if you go for it. I think that your head may be playing tricks on you at times with that card coming out. But overall, we have these two cards as well. We've got the growth card here for you, Group 8. And I think that this is reversed because we have overcoming limitations. This situation will be as fruitful as you want it to be, but it's important that you water it, you fertilize it, you know, you tend to this garden that you want to create, this little Garden of Eden over here. I see that this is an opportunity, not a promise. So it is all about how you water this situation. You reap what you sow kind of thing, Group 8. So growth over here, at the moment things may be stunted, and that could be because courage may have failed you, or you just kind of got a little bit too in your head about it. But I can tell you that growth is being limited based upon these personal limitations that you have, and it could be that you just see yourself as an underdog here and that you kind of lose courage at the last minute. But I do see that growth is still on the table for you, literally. It's on my table for you. So the last card we have is the Sun. So the Sun says conscious mind, masculine life force. So the Sun's energy is blocked. So I'm not feeling a lot of action here yet, but I'm feeling a lot of potential, and I'm feeling a disconnect between ego versus abilities. So your ego is there to kind of keep you grounded and to give you a closer sense of identity, but in many ways it's more of like a limiting belief that you have now when you're connecting to your ego. It feels like you need to get back into the driver's seat in terms of being the main character again, and realizing that you do have opportunities in terms of actions that you can make. This Sun card is also about acting with confidence, believing in yourself, knowing your capabilities, knowing what you can do, and really like moving with your limitations, because they can be twisted into strengths as well. If you look at them as little guidelines that you have to work in, then you have a more clear way of knowing your parameters and knowing what you're actually capable of moving forward. So Group 8, that's what I'm seeing for you. That has been your yes or no reading. The answer for you is yes, with some advice there on how to get that yes. I hope that this reading was helpful for you. At the very least, I hope it confirmed what you may have already suspected for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I shall connect with you in another video. Bye!